What up, what up, what up? Good morning and welcome back. Welcome back to another live session. Let's see here. Welcome back to another live session. Hope the people are feeling good, doing well. Okay, looks good. The audio looks good. Everything looks like it's checking out here. Today, actually, I'll pull up the other half of the screen. I just got to remember to, turn it off when the time comes. So, what's moving and what's not? I did have a watch list, TORO. Are we doing okay? I might have to add TORO to that list that I just had. This one is looking interesting here. Not a good IPO for this one, but anyhows, today it's curling up. I'm gonna add this one to the list here. I'll post the watch list again. Guys, be sure to share the live stream with anyone in the trading community here that you think might be interested in watching the small cap traders. TORO. Quite a few stocks on the watch list today. Guys, remember our disclaimer, all right? Let's actually go through that before we really get into this. Remember that day trading is risky. Remember that most traders lose money. So if you're new, it's good to start slow. Pace yourself. Utilize small size. Utilize simulators. Practice, improve, become competent before exposing yourself to a tremendous amount of risk. With that being said, remember that on this live stream, it's only for educational purposes, never for copy trading. Copy trading does not work. Instead, it's best for people to learn a strategy, a trading strategy that works, that suits them, and not just try to blindly follow. All right. In addition, remember that my results are not typical. Remember also that I will never message you first. Be careful of fake accounts. That is still a thing. People are creating fake Relentless Trader accounts every single day on all platforms. So be very careful about that. And even be careful of fake advertisements as well. We've had some people try to run ads with the Relentless Trading content. And any time that you're doing well in any industry, you're going to have fakes, you're going to have phonies. We even see it on the highest levels. You have, AI Kim Kardashian, AI Donald Trump, AI Elon Musk, running ads, for certain products and services, right? That these people themselves never approved. So be very careful of this treacherous AI wave that we're in. Be very careful. I will never message you first. I will never ask you to click on a weird link. All right. Now, with that being said, coming down through the watch list, I think TORO is looking the best, actually. So I'm going to have this one pulled up. It's up 27%. There's 2 million shares of... Actually, no. Let me check the volume here. There is 1.5 million shares of volume. And, it's looking okay. We'll see if it's able to hold up an uptrend. Let me come back to the 1-minute chart. It's looking decent here for now. It's looking decent for now. Can it continue to sustain? We just had ticker symbol JFBR give a decent move, but right back down, right? So JFBR. Yeah, that one curled up, was looking decent for a minute, right back down. The key is always going to be sustainability, follow through. Oh man. Buy the dip, Pete. Buy the dip, Pete, man. The one thing with Kim Kardashian, if if you look at pictures of Kim Kardashian in 2000 versus pictures of her now, you're gonna see two different worlds. Um, no hate on her, of course, but yeah. Moving on. TORO. Can we continue to hold up? That's gonna be the key here. Right now, I can map out a couple trend lines. Time, we're looking good. 9:18 a.m. We got 9. Let's see. We got a couple of minutes. We got like 6 minutes. 10 plus minutes. We got 544 for the highs. Not bad. The lows, we'll see. It seems to be pulling back here. If we revisit the daily chart, it definitely looks. It looks okay, but we'll need to get over. Hold up. Highs 544. Highs 429. It doesn't seem like the daily chart here is fully updated. But anyhows, 494. Am I going crazy? 1 day, 1 week. Let me check 1 week, 1 month. So we're somewhere up. We're somewhere up here. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, can we curl up? Can we curl up? I mean, looking at key levels here, 645. These are like some of the high points. 725. Will the stock be able to get all the way up there? I don't know, but if we end up having a supernova kind of a day, then of course levels such as $20 would be in mind. But as of right now, there's no way to tell. So the next obvious levels we'll map out and see if it's even able to get in proximity. Most stocks we're seeing right now are giving a quick front side, maybe like 5 minutes, and then selling off early in the day. But then when we do get the strong stock of the day, we're seeing more follow through, maybe about 15 minutes of front side, and then we get a turnover. So, will we see this one hold up, right? Will we see follow through? TORO, I think, might be my main stock here into the open. Switching over to GURE. GURE. Daily chart looking a little rough. But we did go all the way up to $8 here. So let's come into the 1 minute. Okay. Are we having some issues here? Yeah, this one doesn't seem to be populating. Can we check the file? Okay. It's not populating on the 1 minute, but on the 5 minute. This looks like it's done, right? That's what it looks like to me. It looks like it's done, so we had a nice move going up here to 25. Wow. So, Ross must have had a nice day here. Well, it started at 6 a.m. though. Most people are not starting till 7. By 7 a.m., this was done already. But this is a good move though, right? From 580 to 25. Nice. So some big range in there. 1 minute candlestick going up $4 a share. And then $5 a share, man. Wow. The 1 minute candle here to make the new high over 1258 to 1999. Man, that is quite the move. Quite the move. But right now, this looks dead. This looks like a fish out of water. We do have a small pivot here, at 1350, but, VWAP, we have to get back over to VWAP and complete an insane red to green to really look good here, and it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen. It could, and if it does, great, but right now it doesn't look promising. Coming down on the list, WHLR time 22. Let me pull up. Let's see. Guys, as you're tuning in on YouTube, all right, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. We got 200 people already in the building. 200 loyal watchers, viewers. So be sure to hit the thumbs up. We do appreciate it. All right, looks good. We got Mighty with the detailed watch list right there. Locking it in. Yeah, WHLR. If we're to look at this one, let me come back here. Let me do this. Yeah. We just had to move up. It pulled back. It looks decent, but so far a little choppy, right? It's hard to really rate these stocks right now. JFBR also, looked a little decent, sold off. IRBT, which is continuation. This one looks okay. We had this high point back here at 370. We're currently, struggling to get over 370. This could be a good setup here on this one. IRBT could be a good setup here. I'll keep this one as my second string. In terms of penny stocks, let me move these two things out of the way here. In terms of penny stocks, pennies are kind of dead today. There's TDIC. TDIC is up 50%. It looks okay, but it's also below the VWAP for now. So I think I'm going to stick with TORO and then just kind of go from there. The plan will be to trade the obvious stock, and then, if something sells off and something else curls up, then, we want to be on the wave. But if we do have one strong stock that's holding up, that's where we want to just stick around, stick to it, and work that stock, work the momentum, stay locked in, stay in rhythm with the price action, with the pullbacks, and watch for the follow through on the way up. In terms of the game plan today, again, we're 2 days back now from our vacation. One of the bigger things we're working on right now is trying to put some more size. So I did adjust my hotkeys just a little bit for the smaller ones to at least get something going there. But when we do see a good setup, we have to push ourselves there to get some more size using the bigger hotkeys. Other than that, trading is trading. So we want to remain disciplined. We want to remain patient. We want to remember that what we're looking for is something very specific. And if we're not seeing it within a stock, within the price action, within the range, we want to disqualify the move, or let's not say the move, but the stock, and wait for something A quality, right? Because it doesn't make sense to push on something that's just not what we need, It needs to be what we need and what we want at the same time. And if it's just, a terrible move, then it just doesn't make sense, right? So, TORO, will this be the one here today? Again, we have TDIC, we have GURE, WHLR, and some others. For me, this one, the percentage gain is not the highest, but, for now, it looks the best, I'd say, in terms of just how well it's holding up around the VWAP area. And so for those reasons is why I'm keeping an eye on this one here into the open. So we got 3 minutes. I feel good. It's a matter of being patient here. And yeah. In terms of scanner and charts, I'm utilizing Daytrade Dash. Broker-wise, I have Sage, I have Webull, and I have Guardian. Those are the 3 platforms I'm mainly using. I have E-Trade in the background, but yeah, looking forward to a good day here. Looking forward to being patient. Discipline is the key. When it comes time to trade, I never feel nervous. In fact, I'm usually more excited than anything. And so today is another day. I feel good. And I know that as long as I follow my rules, by the end of the day, within the next 2 or 3 hours, it's going to be a good day. So I feel pretty confident. And, let's do our best here to capitalize. Let's do our best to manage risk. Remember our disclaimer once more, day trading is risky. And I'll come down to single screen. And it's just me and the charts and I. The charts and I, and I'm asking the market to have this dance. Let's do it. Big Steve, I want the smoke. I want this smoke today, bro. So I can put out some size. Also, it's going to be important to see high of day volume on the stocks that we're looking at here into the open. Yesterday, that's exactly what we had on our main stock. High of day volume into the open. Hit the thumbs up as you're tuning in on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. And let's have another beautiful day. I do want to check one of my hotkeys to make sure it's good. So I'm actually going to go ahead and do that now. TORO. Okay, it is working nicely. All right. A bit of a scratch trade there to start, but yet, hotkeys looks good. Oh, wow. Okay. The pre-market high is around 40 here, so. But again, I'm not excited about the first minute, right? Because we've seen so many stocks the first minute they do this and then right back down, right? No fills. GUREWHLR, those two have also hit the scans. I wonder if this, I hope this thing, oh man, I should have did it the regular way. There's a bit of a spread here though. Right now, just taking it easy, taking it slow, waiting. Again, the first minute does not excite me because, you see where we are now, right? Like, we're nowhere. The stock is like at the same price that we had at the open. There is a 3 to 5 cent spread on this one too, which is worth mentioning. There's a 3 to 5 cent spread. Which can make it difficult to get some fills. WHLR is right below the VWAP. I'm also keeping an eye on that one. If it does hold the VWAP, it could be interesting. IRBT, that one's at 350. WHLR right below the VWAP. Can it continue to hold up? I think I'm going to pull it up. We got 23 for WHLR. Whoa, what was that high? 40 and back down. That's tough. Nice move, but right back down, you know? I'm not getting the fills at all here on TORO. And it's right back down. Well, I tried the 1 minute candle to make the new high there at 23. Out at 10, 600 shares. $80 loss. Not a good first trade. Good, decent looking setup here, though. So it's back to 20. Again, there's a spread on this one. It's a little, you know. It definitely might need more time. Decent looking setup there, right back down. So do I want to try again here, 520? I think I'll wait on the sidelines to see confirmation maybe towards the highs. WHLR, good move to 640, right back down 570. It's back at 615. IRBT and some others being mentioned. All right, it's tough to say. So IRBT. This one had a big level of 370, which we were over 370. We had a high right there of 87. Could be interesting. But we'll need to hold up our key levels though. 404 is the halt going up. WHLR 630 again. 95, okay. IRBT definitely very strong here early. Halt level now at 410. No trades, just kind of here on the sidelines. I would have wanted to be in at 370, but, you know, didn't have it pulled up, so. Yeah, 404, it's just going. The break of the whole dollar. Moving up. WHLR is looking okay as well, but this IRBT is just going. Took a small position at 92, but you know, no size really. Just hard to gauge if we're gonna keep going or not. Keep going down on the dip. What's the time? 39. We could see a good size pullback here. Want to be careful. This thing started at like 350, so I want to be careful just in case you get a bigger dip here. But it does look pretty bullish. Some scratch trades so far. Oh, come on. Not like that. Are we primed for red to green already? Just like that. Can we see over 4? I'm long at 95, but you know, the breakout here kind of slow. It looks like a false breakout really on the 1 minute. I think doubling my share size on the smaller hotkeys was a decent move so far. There's 403. We had 407, I believe, for highs. or at least 403, somewhere there. It's a little tough to tell if the breakout is going to keep going here, but how far will we go? I got 900 shares at 04. There's 17, there's 20. I didn't get filled my entire position either. Or maybe I did. I can't even tell. Holding 200 shares at 05 and kind of waiting here just to see. There's 22. It's a good size drop right there. A little scary. How tightly can we hold is going to be the key here. I'm holding 100 shares at 406. All right, I got this one is strong. I gotta push myself here to take more size. Gotta push myself to take more size. Right now we're small green, $100. There's a new high, 36. It's definitely pretty bullish here. Very bullish. Watching and waiting here for another entry. I still got like 5 shares at $4 area, but you know, watching and waiting. Sometimes you don't really get the entries you want when the stock starts to move up like this. Sometimes you got to take what you can get. That's a good setup still, you know. I'm hoping we can get something good, man, on a pullback or something here. It's just like straight up after $4. Can we get a sweet pullback? We're agreeing $200, but you know we need to see some entries here to get something out of this nice move. We've traded it well so far. We just need a chance to get some trades with size now. Ah, man, it's just going. Do I want to chase it? Man, it is a tough one. It is a tough one, all right. And I can't. I took 52 right there, but to take it with size, you know, it just feels like I'm chasing it. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, we need some sweet entries here. Or maybe I just have to chase it even with size. And what if we're just getting green candles on the 5-minute? Well, I did ask for smoke, right? But smoke without entries is not the key here. Big level here. Will we pull back or will we hold? Can we see over 64 and a retest of the highs at 69? I sold that trade way too early. Needed to hold that. Damn it, I needed to hold that trade, bro. I needed to hold that. Damn it, I needed to hold that trade, man. That could have been so good. I had like 1,200 shares I added. I had 2,000 shares at 55, sold at 63. And then I added again at 64 and sold that position in that churn, which was just too soon. Well, we're up 440 bucks in the stock, 360 bucks on the day. I'd still say we haven't had a ton of entries, right? The pullbacks have been really tight. The stock, I mean, it's been strong, but in terms of like getting a lot of entries, we're kind of just going straight up is how it feels. So when backside comes, the stock is done. It's going to be time to go short because there isn't going to be any pullback. It's just going to be done once it starts. Once the first real pullback comes, it's over. My opinion, not financial advice, of course, but I think once it gives a real pullback, that's it. Because we haven't had any pullbacks in the 5. It's just going straight up. Damn it, man. I'm holding shares at 73, but you know, again, the size. Jesus. Jeez Louise. It's this stock, you gotta chase it. And it's hard to chase it with size. Just gotta be careful that this is not the pullback. This could be the beginning of the end here. I don't know. That was a great move, but man, entry wise, it's basically like since $4, I didn't have an entry. I just felt like I was chasing the move. Oh, come on, man. False breakout on the 1 minute. Well, we're green 300 bucks, but just pretty underwhelming for the move. Well, if that's what it is, we'll take it and smile. GURE, which did curl up. Jeez, bro, I just can't. No entries, like no entries. GURE might halt up, but it seems pretty high risk. So I'm gonna not touch this unless it curls up again, because I think there's just too much risk with how much we've moved up. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to hit the thumbs up. I'm sidelines, hands off for now, not touching any of this. I gotta set myself up to go short, really. Like, I gotta utilize the more of the capabilities of these platforms I'm using. It's still early, but I want to be patient here and not try to like catch the bottom, and it keeps going down. So just gonna take it slow and keep paying attention to the charts. If there's an opportunity, it could present itself, and that's where I could take a starter trade and try again. 1 minute candle to make the new high right there. No good. Chasing was the name of the game here. I don't know if I would hyper scalped it if it would have worked though. I don't know. I have to rewatch it to see. Over 75 is going to be key. Like if it's able to actually get up there and hold. It's just tough to say if we're going to be able to hold up if it does curl back up. Taking a starter again, a little bit of a riskier trade here. A little bit of a riskier trade, but you know, we'll see if it curls up. I want to see over 75 really though. Like over 75 is where it really looks strong to continue. And we can get over this like bear flag range that we got here. Over 75 is the key if it wants to be strong. was a good attempt. It just didn't go. It just didn't go. So, you know, will it hold up again? Will we hold up again? It would be lovely for the 5 minute setup to hold up and this stock go over 5 if we get $6. For sure, I'm gonna try my best to push size, but you know, it just comes down if we can get some entries right along the way. If it's just like straight up, it's gonna be tough to really size up into those trades. Because at every high point, the reality is that we could be turning around, you know? So like right now, we're just green $280 in a day, just taking it slow. Will we see another hurrah at 75? Holding over 75 is the key here if this thing is going to rip right back up, you know? If not, gotta manage the risk. And gotta be careful. I'm watching at 50, but it's there's so much selling. So trying again to see if this thing goes up to 75 and hold. Can we get up there, hold over 75, and then potentially, you know. Ross finished up $45 only. I'm surprised. Well, I'm gonna give back some profits there. In at 55 out of 45. Yes, with size. Yes, with size, of course. Well, that's gonna be my only real loss of the day there, but it looks like it could be finished here for real. As we're breaking down the support. So sidelines again. The last push up to 75 had me convinced, but you know, are breaking down. Ay, 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 man. If this freaking thing could have just gave entries, it could have been such a serious day. Instead, we're just straight up, straight up, straight up. Vertical. Well, after that loss, we're up 148 on the stock and 66 on the day with the loss on TORO of 80 bucks that we had. The VWAP is still a ways down at 420s. We will get our chance very soon. We will get our chance. What was the low of that candlestick? 33. I don't know. Looking at it, like it's just so hard to tell like what it will do here. It's a prolonged consolidation. What I don't want to get fall victim to is if it does start to curl at a high place, like not getting in, because you know sometimes there's a bit of a reset and the stock could end up holding tightly despite like a lower move up, despite coming from like a lower place. 60 bucks. 60 bucks for all of that is madness. I don't feel like I got filled with most of my positions, but because I don't know, I have to rewatch because a lot of the times I'm pressing the hotkey for a little more size. It looks like I was getting filled half size only. GURU in the depths. Yeah, jeez Louise, bro. I'm gonna take another starter here to see what it does. There's a quick false breakout there. Okay. And now we are flat on the day. DEVS and others hitting the scans, but not really looking that good. So initially, I said I wouldn't want to touch it if we reverse. This curl up to 75 is what kind of got me maybe a little to change my mind there, right? Which we were in with some small size. But it looks like I don't know, it looks like it's done. Will we see something else? If not, it's a flat day. And tomorrow again. What a bummer. Oh man. Yeah, it's a bit of a flat day. You know, will we see something else? I don't know. Guys, don't forget if you're hitting the if you're watching on YouTube to hit the thumbs up. Well, you guys know what I mean. If I say tomorrow and it's Friday, then you know, of course, Monday. All right, it's a shorter week for me. I didn't start till Wednesday. I didn't start till Wednesday. GURE halting down again. Big Big Steve is the expert at managing risk. What? The 5 minute candle to make the new highs at 60. If it is to perform a miracle here. Yeah, I don't know. So I have hotkey for control and I have a hotkey for shift. And the hotkey that I doubled was for control, which I'm not using during the open at all. So earlier, a lot of my positions were half size for the smaller hotkeys, which, not good. So I thought I was getting filled. I wasn't getting filled like the entire position. It could sneak up here. And I'm perhaps out a little soon. I gotta stop doing that. Paper handing the trade just a little bit. Will we see one more leg as per the Mighty? Is the Mighty's crystal ball working? Time? Candle's in a decent place, I suppose. I don't love how I add lower, but my average kind of doesn't really change. It's like my fills aren't not getting the ideal fills. $75, I think, would still be that big level. Yeah, so as I mentioned, one of my biggest, smallest hotkey, if that makes sense, which is 1,200 shares, wasn't changed. It was still 600. So the entire time I thought I was pressing it, I'm using 600 shares. So I have control and shift. That control key was the one that I changed. So we definitely could have been up a good amount more if we had that, hotkey done properly. So earlier in the day, I'm like, man, I'm not getting filled. All right. I'm like, I'm not getting filled, but the hotkey was the same size. See, if I was using market orders right there, I would have noticed immediately, right? Because the hotkey would have been half the size. So in a lot of areas, I was actually canceling orders, thinking I still had shares like out to get filled as the stock went higher, not knowing I just didn't have size at all in some of those areas. Um, I haven't experienced that yet. Bob Ross in the chat. Hopefully, I don't experience it at all. But if that is a thing, we got to be very careful. The 5 minute candlestick to make the new high. Not much there. This stock is gonna turn into a stock that like you have to sit down and watch it for the entire day to see what it does. Can we curl back up? It's possible, but in the last two good areas, which was 10:02 a.m. market time at 75, and just now again at high 70 at 10:18 a.m. Both of those levels rejecting. And I am now red $97 here. So green 250 to red 97. Not ideal, but nevertheless we kept it tight. We didn't make anything on the front side, so we can't really be upset if we had a bigger green day of like a couple thousand and we lost. Then. But the reality is if like my hotkey was messed up, right? Like if what I did do, which was to take 1,200 shares now, with one loss, I'm pretty much flat on the day, right? Which is what happened. That's the thing with size. And that setup was this setup here at 75. Right, I'm in at like 67 average. Green unrealized 6-7 cents. Once we reverse, I'm stopping out a little lower in this red candle here. But Monday we'll be ready. Our hotkey is fixed. I don't know if anything else will. I mean, if anything else doesn't come, we're out of here. But I'll check in on the YouTube stream. Hopefully, you guys are doing all right over here. Let's pull it up. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. So, red day recap down $97. So, in terms of how I trade now, I wouldn't say I'm hyper scalping as much, but a lot of the things that we use for hyper scalping is still relative to how I'm looking to get into the trade. The only difference is my hold time. So when hyper scalping, let's say a stock is going from 5 to 550, I'm in at 5, out at 515, back in at 518, out at 530, back in at 528, out at 548. Right now, I'm just in at 5, out at 550, and sizing up is the key here to get a little bit more out of the move. Yeah, hyper scalping is looking slow for hyper scalping right now. So once I master this new style, right, which is a small variant, I'm gonna reteach the entire course. And the pastor and the community We'll be at all-time highs very soon. Because as we know, the number one thing that's constant in life is change, and that we are not afraid of. Whatever it takes to ensure success. Because at the end of the day, you can learn any strategy, right? Any strategy in the world if you're disciplined. Discipline is the key. The battle within yourself will determine whether or not you can make it. If you lose against yourself mentally, then you don't stand a chance, right? That's just how it's going to be. It's not easy. It never was. It never will be. But for those of us who are willing to stay relentless and persist in our pursuit towards greatness, if we can make small changes and adjustments over time to get better, then it's only a matter of time at that point, right? Even if it takes months or years. Because when you get to the finish line, the growth is going to be exponential. This thing is back up here again. Like, do I want to try this trade a third, fourth time for 75? Again, the 5-minute candlesticks are in us up. It's looking like we could break out here on the 5-minute chart, but we've been here before. It fooled me once. It fooled me twice. A third time would just be blasphemous. Tips for health insurance? There are no tips. Right now I'm paying $500 a month for health insurance. There's no tips. If you're young, you might not need health insurance, but it's still good to have it because, you know, like for me, I'd say I'm in my prime here, but yet I'm having like back pain, you know, like if I'm some like 96-year-old man already. I'm long right here to see what this thing does. A couple hundred shares. It's a breakout trade, which means my stop is fairly tight. If it doesn't go, I'm ready to walk away. $63, $61. What? See, the other option for me is to wait. For over 75. But it's tricky because we could get there and it could move so quick that again there's no entries, right? And you're kind of just stuck without a trade. So I'm like trying to attempt to break out here to see if this thing means any business. But you know, I don't know. If it goes, it needs to hold up. Like if it falls breakouts, like it's just not going to be good. Come on. Do you have what it takes? KB, squeeze us to 80, 85. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Cover your shares, short sellers. Give us a break here for one hot stock of the year. And of course, the breakout fails. And I'm losing on the trade. Can I sell right there 74 for like a couple of cents of gains? You know, 5, 6, 8 cents. It's like the trade isn't even worth it if I sell right there, right? Well, this is the last valued attempt, and I'm now at $138. All from these three setups here. One right here. Can I put something on the chart? Let me get an arrow. Where do I get the arrow? Arrow. Okay, there we go. This one right here. Oh, never mind. That's just the pointer. What am I doing with myself here? Arrow, 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 bubble, anything. Imagine Ross watching this stream right now. Like, what is this guy doing? Cannot locate an arrow. Here, I'll use an emoji. Let's use this one. Right here. Right here. Oh, came off. Right here again. And then this one. Those three areas is where I lost. All three good setups for the red to green. So, you know, in terms of giving back the 200, right? It's like when you lose money trading the strategy that has made you money, it's like, what can you do, you know? Granted, though, I will say my original plan was to ignore the backside, but the setup did look good. I'm not mad about it. Next time, I'll be a little bit more careful. And in terms of buying low and high, I think it's like a 50-50 thing. For each of us individually, we can decide what we want to do. I had trades lower in this area, and then, you know, I added high for the continued move where we rejected here. This second time, I had no trades low. And the risk of holding low is that, you know, the stock can continue to fade out, right? If I'm buying like the bottom right here, we can keep getting that like falling knife kind of action, which does happen a lot from time to time. Oh man. Some people are into smoking, others are not. When I was when I was young, my parents would always tell me that smoking would make you go mad. Like turn into like somebody on the street, you know? Like the homeless people who are homeless because of like addiction. Like a junkie kind of a person. So I never got into that. I don't think I ever will. But some people like it, and you know, it helps some people. For each their own. I'm more of a champagne guy at occasions, on certain special occasions, you know, birthday celebrations. I'll sip a little bit of champagne. Yeah, I asked for the smoke so we can extinguish it with some water. I'm gonna get out of here because it's kind of getting a little later and we're not seeing much. TORO, just, you know, it just seems a little tough. The entry was above 470, potentially. Yeah. The only thing for me again is like if we were to get to 75, 78 rapidly, I know I would have been in a place where there's a chance I didn't have an entry at all, you know, because it just moved up so quickly, like 80, 85. And then I'm there like, damn. So all of these trades are like anticipation for the breakout. We got 74, 70. It's important to mention that I'm green on realized in all of them, at least 5 to 8 cents. But of course, looking for the move to 75, 80, 85. So not selling. Trying to get out break even, but sometimes, you know, you're kind of giving it that range to see what it does, which is the tough part, because you know if you cut it flat, you're gonna always guarantee you're out flat. But if you give it a couple cents, you're risking it not bouncing back to retest for that, you know, chance. That's like the risk right there. In which case, you can say you're losing on some slippage. But there are some days where, you know, we can see the stock come down a couple cents past your stop, and then you kind of get that retest to the highs, you know, especially if you're adding lower depending on where the support is. But yeah. Let's do the math here. Yeah, the scans are dead. What time is it? Is it past 11? No, it's close to 11. All right, I'm gonna shut it down. We're at 200 bucks here pretty much. We don't trade a lot of shares. Like back in the days, I used to trade a lot more shares, but the shares we're trading now, like last year, I think I did like 800,000 shares on average a day. Now it's like 30,000 shares or less a day, which is like a huge difference. Because again, like instead of taking 5 trades in that dollar a share move, it's just one trade, you know? In fact, a lot of times it'll be more than 5 trades. I mean, we're like sometimes we'll have so many break-even trades just buying and selling like the same area, whether it's a couple cents gain, couple cents loss, and just just rapid fire, like just trading the key areas here and taking one trade really is like when you look back on a day where you would have took 500 trades, you took like 15 trades, and the share size drops down like tremendously, right? So again, 888,000 shares to like 30,000 shares. So like the fees, the commissions and stuff are like, negligible, right? But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. So red day recap here. Small green, 200 bucks to red, 130. The biggest thing I think for us was just our share size. Again, we did make an effort to adjust our share size, and I could probably show you guys my hotkeys here. Again, I have Control and Shift. Control I use for pre-market. It's a slightly different hotkey. That's the one I adjusted with twice the size for 1,200 shares versus 600. And my open hotkey, I left the same by accident. So maybe we could have made an extra 2, 3, 400. It's hard to say. The size does make it exponential, but nevertheless, it was a good day. I think next time I'll just be a little bit more careful because the backside can become tempting when the setup starts to hold up, the 5-minute chart starts to look good. I mean, we've seen this 1,000 times where, and there's still a chance the stock could go up, right? But we've seen it 1,000 times where there's a good front side move, and a stock like this holds up, and it turns into the stock that goes to 8 to then 15 to then 20, right? Because these setups here hold up and work out, and you get the extended move going up. The key is like we lost 338 off the top, right? The key is, here's the real key, right? The key is in the front side move, you make your thousands of dollars so that when you do use the smaller size here and you lose $338 off the top, you go from up 2,500 on the day to up 2,300 on the day, and like nothing has changed on the day, So yeah. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it. Let me just look through some of these other stocks here, and I'm out of here. I'm gonna be around, but I'm gonna get some breakfast and then be back in like 40 minutes, 30 minutes maybe. Yeah, everything else kind of slow. TORO. How are we doing on the SPY? All-time highs. The Santa rally is here. We're almost at all-time highs. I still can't believe that I sold this dip at 580 or 590. I think it's 590. I sold this dip at like 593. And it's like, what was I thinking selling so soon? 510 was my average down here, 510. And I sold. Shout out to Beam. I wonder if Beam is still holding. I know Beam also had shares too. Man, But you live and you learn, right? Now I know for sure that when we get another catastrophic dip, you gotta really see the move through, let the stock give that follow through, and just keep to your trailing stop, you know. Especially once we get past the chop, we're more than likely gonna see follow through over time. And so I went long, then I went short. I went short at like 93 or like 90, 88, somewhere like that, and then covered for a couple dollar move. And then this thing kind of kept going here. So I could have had another, you know, $100 a share pretty much on the SPY position that I had. Shout out to Tim, who did give us a nice call out in the chat. Tim did call out 385, and we're already back at 360, or 460 rather, 460. Shout out to Tim for that call out right there. You know, of course, the chat room is always going to have its value, right? People are going to, you know, share what they're doing, and of course, it's always risk involved. So you never want to blindly copy someone. But for me, it's more so what I'm thinking to do. Other good traders are also thinking the same way, which is like gives you more confidence to take the trade, gives you that, you know, that sureness sometimes that you might need if you're a little on the fence of like jumping in, especially with size. But when you have a bunch of other great people who you didn't even discuss this idea with are looking at something similar, then you know, like, hey, you know, this thing is making more sense for me after my own personal research that I already did, right? So, of course, it's never about copy trading someone's trade idea because, you know, we could have had bad news and the thing could have dropped to 350, 340, right? But, you know, if you're doing your own personal research and, you know, you're liking what you're seeing and other great traders out there are also thinking something similar, then, you know. But yeah. Yeah, take care, stay safe, stay green, enjoy the weekend. I'm definitely going to be studying up. Next week is the week of size. There is no excuse. There is no excuse. Next week is the week of size, and we're gonna try to gather all of our trades as well, so that we can make the yearly recap. There's like 2 months of data from other platforms outside of Thinkorswim that we have to compile, organize properly so that they can be downloaded into the software. And then so I can have the monthly, not the monthly, but the yearly recap to go over the year, all the struggles, all the things we've been working on, and what we're looking forward to dominating on into the new year here, into this month of December. But yeah, take care, stay safe, stay green, enjoy the weekend, and I'll catch you guys later. For all the haters that's out there, you know, we've had many of haters in the past before, and you know, they've all had to watch me do it live here in style. So if you're a hater, I'm not going to encourage you to leave. In fact, I'm going to encourage you to stay. And when you start to witness the insanity of the greatness once again, keep your same energy, all right? Nah, there's a few haters, all right. But they will feel the pain of doubting the best in the world. Also, sometimes people listening, they can't fathom the confidence that you have, you know, like, damn, how does this guy feel so confident all the time? Like, how does he feel so calm, cool, and collected all the time? You know, there are people out there who will listen to that, see that, and utilize that towards their advantage, towards being a better individual. And there's the people out there that will see that, hear that, and just be upset with you because they don't have it. And so the people who are upset with me, you know, they're going to be stuck like Chuck whilst the rest of us continue to push forward. All right, take care, stay safe, stay green. It's been the Pastor, and I'm